Hey everybody, how you doing? Let's see. It looks like my microphone was off, but now it is back on. So yay! All right. Today, first, the underlying music. This one is Stream Beats, and it's put out by Harris Heller, who streaming people know, Alpha Gaming, all that stuff. The music is copyright free and usable on streams, and so thank you to him for making that available for all us schmoes. So what we're going to talk about today is setting up a document for writing class. So you're going to be in an academic writing situation, almost any writing situation, because this is a pretty good standard format, although for my classes it needs to be this only. I won't accept anything else, no other fonts, no other paper size, no other margin size, all that good stuff. So for you other teachers out there, feel free to use this as a link to this video as an explanation for your students, so you don't have to. And I will probably use this for many semesters to come because I hate re-explaining it, quite frankly. Yeah, so we're going to be focusing primarily on APA 7, right? Yay. Although for the most part this semester we're not be doing a lot of citations, but the citations will follow a general APA format where you have inline citations are name, comma, year, close parentheses, stuff like that, and how the stuff is put in the references section at the end. I'm going to put a separate video, so this is not going to deal with that, but for just so people know, I'm going to be using APA 7 from now on until APA 8 comes out. Yay. All right. Okay, so let's get into the thing. Let's go over to and I'm going to be doing this on my iPad, but the controls basically are going to work the same way. Come on, baby. Are going to work basically the same way either way. Whoops. Camera covered. Come on. Yep. Okay. Either way. Now let's get this so you can see it too. There we go. And there we go. All right. So this is what it looks like on iPad for the basic setup. Let's see if I can get my, nope, that's not connected. All right. So you won't necessarily have a cursor on the screen for you to follow, but for the most part, it's the same. So up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little paintbrush. So hit the paintbrush and it will give you the body style. And because we're in the text, that means that this is context sensitive. So because we're in the text, we're going to get the text information. We might as well set that up first now. Nope. Okay. Get that set up first now and see how it goes. We're in body. For some teachers, they want titles centered. This is, whoops, is a title, right? And then for a lot of places, they want this to be bold, but I don't, for my stuff, it's not going to be that. Now, first thing we're going to notice is that font. No good. No good. This is listed as Helvetica New. This way. Over that way. No, that way. Okay. Somewhere around there, straight across the screen, you'll see it as Helvetica New. But we don't want to use Helvetica New. We want to use, of course, it's not at the top. We want to use the only font. And yes, I know this is starting to change, but Times New Roman is what we want. And we want the size to be 11. No, not 11. 11? No, not 11. What about 13? No, not 13. We want it to be 12. 12 only. Only 12. 12 only. And the title should be centered. And that's that. So now we don't want it to be centered anymore. So we want this one here. There. Okay, so under where it says text color, there are 4 things. This is full justified. That means it's going to space out the distance between the words so that it fills the entire line. And I don't want that. I want this to be here. And so it's left justified. You can go center or right justified, but I don't want either of those. I want left justified with the ragged edge. Because that way I can see if students are putting in too many spaces. And just to be clear, 2 is too many. So other teachers disagree with me on that, but they're wrong. So, all right. So now we go down here below that, bullets and lists. Don't worry about it. Line spacing is where we want to go. So some places will let you do, space and a half. Space and a half for me is fine. I don't care, but let's solidify on double space, 2 space. And that will be what we always want. That way there's never a choice. Everybody deals with 2 space. It's fine. Double space, it's fine. Okay, so that's going to deal with the text. Now we want to deal with the actual document. Now I'm in Japan, so my paper size is going to be A4. If you're in the US or some other place, maybe Canada uses A4 or letter, I don't know. Anyway, letter A4, do what your teacher says. For my classes, A4, because in Japan, that's what you get, A4. And most of Europe is A4 as well. So we want to get into document setup and make sure that these are at 2.5 centimeters. This one over here is at 2.5 centimeters. The bottom is at 2.5 centimeters, and the top is at 2.5 centimeters. Now, those extra bars and stuff at the top are for headers and footers. I'm not going to be using those. APA 7 gets rid of the running header, and so it's been way too long. They should have got rid of it a long time ago, but we're not going to use it, so we're just focused on what's in the middle. 2.5 centimeters at the top, 2.5 centimeters at the bottom, 2.5 centimeters on the left, and 2.5 centimeters on the right. Top, bottom, left, right. How much? 2.5. 2.6? No, 2.5. That's right. So then we go to done, and now the document is entirely set up. Now, I want to have an automatic indentation, and that is what I want right there, the ruler. All right. So on the ruler, we get these. You can see them up over there. That box on the top and that little triangle on the bottom. So the box on the top is going to be the first line in a paragraph. So anything between the carriage returns, right? So I want to push this over so we have about 5 spaces. Okay. So now when I type, this will wrap around. Ugh, boy, this is going to take forever because I can't type very fast on the screen. This will wrap around. Oh, and we also need to fix this. This is a comma. This is small t. Now, for those of you on iOS, use 2 fingers, and that's why what happens when I touch with 2 fingers. See how the text? See how the text block goes blank? That means it's working as kind of a touchpad. So you can move your cursor around anywhere you want using 2 fingers. 2 fingers on the thing. To the next line, automatically. You just have to type, to type enough for it to get there. Okay. Period, space. Period, 2 spaces? No. Period, space. One. Start the next word. Next word is big. Okay. Fine. So as you can see, it starts indented. Boy, that indent is not proper. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that will set your wraparound, and then when you hit return, it will automatically indent for you, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Yay. All right, so I want the exclamation point. I'm going to touch the one and pull down, and it will give me my exclamation point. Right. All right. So that's the basic setup for basically all word processors. This is Pages. I'm going to show you Word in a minute, but this will let you adjust everything before as you get started, and it's better to do it before than after because okay, my preference, but you can do it however you want. The reason I don't do it after is because when you're selecting everything, if you miss anything, then it's a problem. So, but that's the basic layout. Margins, top, bottom, left, right. How many? Can't hear you because it's a computer thing. Ha ha ha. 2.5 centimeters on the top, on the bottom. If you are in the US, it is 1 inch, top, bottom, left, right. If you are whatever, anyway, 2.5 centimeters, top, bottom, left, right for the margins. In Japanese, margins are yohaku, right? Yay. All right, good. Now, indentation is about 5 spaces. This one's a little weird, but it's about like that. It's equivalent to about 1 tab. So use that. Don't space, 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 space. Space, 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 space. Yeah, don't use 5. I know. Don't use 5 spaces to indent because then you can't change it and it doesn't line up properly. So if you use this indentation, it will always be in a straight line. Every beginning of every paragraph will be in exactly the right spot. So use that, do it that way. Okay, font, Times New Roman, paper size A4, margins 2.5 centimeters. Perfect. Size 12, 12. 16, no. 14, no. 12, 12. You can do line spacing, gyokan, as 1.5 or 2, but generally 2 is what most people use. Now, that was the layout for the documents for Pages. Basically the same thing, but let's take a look at Word. I'm going to open a blank document. And I don't know Word as well, but we'll get there. So what we want to do is home. I believe it's this one. Nope. Layout. There we go. Layout. So margins. Oh no, I have to sign in to do this. I don't want to sign in to do this. Okay, go into margins, and then you can adjust the margins the same way. Again, 2.5 centimeters on the left, on the right, on the top, on the bottom. And everything will stay inside there. If your teacher's asking for page numbers or for headers, those go in the header and footer sections. They do not go in the main body of the paper. They're separate text areas in a document. Make sure that your paper size is correct. A4 if you're in Japan, letter size if you're in the US, A4 if you're in most of Europe, and well, most of the rest of the world actually. So make sure your size is A4 for my class, and the orientation is landscape. The same thing here. Let's see, view, ruler. Make sure you turn the ruler on. And again, now Pages had the square thing on top and the triangle thing on the bottom, but Pages is, or Word is opposite. Oh, I can't move it. Oh no, I did. Nope, won't let me do it. All right, so see how up over here, the top one kind of diamond thing, move the top one over. That controls the first line in a document, in a paragraph, and the other one is the carriage return, where the carriage return comes back to. So make sure you have all that stuff up and ready to go. And once you get it set up, you can save that and you can use it as a opening template for pretty much any academic type writing and most writing in general that you're going to want to do. So yeah, that's about it. Make sure you save often. And for my classes, we're using Blackboard. I haven't decided if I'm going to have you save it as a PDF or if I'm going to have you save it as a probably PDF or RTF. So PDF is basically takes a picture of the document and puts it out as a picture, but much smaller file size. Oh, that's insert. Yeah, so share or export. So I have some options: PDF, Word, EPUB, RTF, or Pages template. Generally, a lot of teachers are going to accept Word documents. I don't really like a Word document because there used to be viruses and stuff that you could put in Word documents, and if you don't have good virus catchers and scanners and stuff like that on your system, you don't really want to do that. RTF is great because Word opens it. Any word processor will open it, and it will work just fine. And the nice thing about RTF is the file is very small, but it keeps the formatting, as opposed to a text file, which you lose all the formatting and everything else. So RTF, rich text format, is very useful. But I think I'm going to be collecting papers this semester in PDF because that way they can't be changed. And when I do the feedback on the papers, I'm just going to be doing markup anyway. I'm not going to change what you wrote. You're going to do that. That's your job. Okay. So yeah, so with export, it's basically one of those. The only thing that's different in Word is you won't get this Pages template thing. Oops. Cancel. So go ahead and use that as you see fit. So for my classes, this is absolutely the only way I will accept the work. And I will have this written up in the course as well. For other teachers out there, for other students out there, make sure you check with your teacher. But in general, this is how to set up a basic educational academic style paper. So do that, follow along. Pages is available on all of the iOS devices. So on your iPad or on your iPhone, so you can work on your paper on your way to school. Don't do that. You should probably do it at home on a bigger screen so you can see what you're doing. But sometimes you're pressed for time or you got to make some minor change. It works fine. So do that. It will also transfer over to a Mac, and you can transfer back and forth and work on the same document on a regular keyboard, or you can do it on here, or if you have an iPad that can take the keyboard, you can use that keyboard there as well. So that's basically how that goes. So so that's the layout for the papers that I'm going to take this semester. Again, if you're not my student, contact your teacher and make sure that if they want something different from what I'm asking for, that you do it the way they tell you. However, after a period, 1 space. After a period, 1 space. How many spaces after a period? 1. That's right. So font size is 12. Not 11, not 10, not 14. For me, 12. Other people will take 10, but not me. Only 12. And so what's the other thing? Oh, the font. For me, Times New Roman. Only. Times New Roman. Some people are using other fonts now. Times New Roman makes it simple. It's on every computer. You don't have to worry about it. It's available there. Margins, 2.5 centimeters on the top, bottom, left, right. 1 centimeter? No, 2.5. 2.5. Yeah, you get it. All right. So make sure your papers are formatted properly and everything will be fine. Good. All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.